You need to hear this if you're a man. Ever wondered what secrets your body holds? From the weird to the fascinating, our bodies are capable of some incredible things. So get ready to have your mind blown and discover what's hiding inside the male body. Let's talk muscles, man. Men, on average, have a higher percentage of muscle mass compared to women. We're talking 40% versus 23%, which is a pretty significant difference. It all comes down to this little hormone called testosterone. It tells your body to build and repair muscle tissue, making you bigger and stronger. Back in the caveman days, having more muscle mass was crucial for survival. So, yeah, we evolved to be a little more jacked. It's in our DNA. The male brain is a fascinating and sometimes frustrating thing. Men tend to have better spatial reasoning skills, meaning we're better at mentally manipulating objects, navigating and judging distances. We also tend to excel at problem solving that involves logic and analysis. Some scientists believe these differences stem from our evolutionary roles. So the next time you ace a parking job, thank your ancestors. Studies have shown that men actually have a higher pain tolerance than women. Our skin is actually thicker than women's skin. We've got those lovely hormones again. Testosterone plays a role in pain perception, reducing our sensitivity to it. Evolutionarily speaking, this makes a lot of sense. Being able to shrug off a little pain was probably pretty advantageous in those situations. Alright fellas, let's talk about a genetic quirk that affects a lot of us, color blindness. Men are way more likely to be colorblind than women. We're talking about a whopping 8% of men compared to only 0.5% of women. The genes responsible for color vision are located on the X chromosome, and since we guys only have one, if that one X chromosome has the gene for color blindness, we're stuck with it. Women, on the other hand, have a backup X chromosome. Ever notice how guys seem to have a built-in compass? It's like they have an innate sense of direction that kicks in whenever they need it. Whether they're out in the wild or navigating through a bustling city, men often seem to know exactly where they're going. Men generally do have better navigational skills than women. This isn't just a stereotype. There's actually some science behind it. Men are often more adept at reading maps, using compasses, and finding their way without getting lost. Studies have shown that men tend to use different parts of their brains for navigation than women. Specifically, men are more likely to engage areas of the brain that are responsible for spatial awareness and memory. We rely more on our hippocampus, an area of the brain associated with spatial memory and creating mental maps. This part of the brain helps us remember routes and landmarks, making it easier to navigate through unfamiliar territory. Think about those hunter-gatherer days. Back then, men were the primary hunters, venturing far from home to track and hunt prey. This required excellent navigational skills to find their way back to their families. Men were the ones venturing out into the wilderness, tracking prey, and finding their way back home. These skills were crucial for survival and have been passed down through generations. So, the next time your lady asks for directions, don't be surprised if you instinctively know the way. It's not just luck. It's a skill that's been honed over thousands of years. Trust your instincts and lead the way with confidence. Alright, let's talk sweat. Sweating is a natural process that our bodies use to cool down. But have you ever wondered why men seem to sweat more than women? Men sweat more than women. This isn't just a myth, it's backed by science. Men have more sweat glands than women, and those sweat glands are also more active. This means that when men exercise or get hot, their bodies produce more sweat. This means we produce more sweat, even at rest. It's our body's way of making sure we don't overheat. Sweating is our body's way of regulating temperature. When we get hot, our sweat glands kick into gear. They release sweat that evaporates and cools us down. This process is essential for maintaining a stable body temperature. Men tend to generate more body heat than women, thanks to our larger muscle mass and higher metabolic rates. This extra heat needs to be managed, so we need to sweat more to stay cool. It's a natural and necessary process, especially during physical activities or in hot environments. The downside? We might need to shower more often, but it's a small price to pay for keeping our bodies cool and functioning properly. Ever wonder why guys can seemingly eat whatever they want without gaining weight? It's a common observation that men often appear to have a faster metabolism compared to women. This can be frustrating for women who feel they have to work harder to maintain their weight. Men generally have a higher basal metabolic rate, or BMR, than women. This means that even when at rest, men's bodies are burning more calories just to maintain basic bodily functions like breathing and circulation. That means our bodies burn more calories at rest, even when we're just sitting around doing nothing. This higher BMR is one of the reasons why men can often eat more without gaining weight as quickly as women. Men have more muscle mass than women, and muscle burns more calories than fat, even at rest. This is why strength training is often recommended for weight management, as increasing muscle mass can boost your metabolism. We also tend to have a higher proportion of lean body mass, which also contributes to a higher BMR. Lean body mass includes muscles, bones, and organs, all of which require more energy to maintain than fat tissue. But trust me, as we get older, that advantage starts to shrink. Age-related muscle loss and hormonal changes can slow down our metabolism, making it easier to gain weight and harder to lose it. So, it's important to stay active and maintain a healthy lifestyle as we age. Alright, let's talk about a touchy subject: hair loss. The main culprit is a hormone called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, which is a byproduct of testosterone. DHT shrinks hair follicles, making them shorter and thinner until they eventually stop producing hair altogether. Genetics also play a major role. If your father or grandfather lost their hair, chances are you're more susceptible to it as well. But hey, it's not all bad news. There are treatments available that can slow down or even reverse hair loss. Let's face it, guys, our skin is different from women's skin. It's thicker, tougher, and tends to be oilier. The good news is that our thicker skin is less prone to wrinkles and fine lines. However, our thicker skin also means we're more prone to acne breakouts, especially during puberty when those hormones are raging. But hey, at least we'll stay hydrated, right? Alright guys, let's talk about the dreaded beer belly. Men and women store fat differently, and for men it tends to accumulate around our midsection. Men have a higher proportion of visceral fat, the type of fat that surrounds our internal organs. As we produce less testosterone with age, our bodies tend to store more fat, especially around the abdomen. So if you want to avoid the beer belly, it's important to maintain a healthy weight through diet and exercise. So there you have it, folks. 10 mind-blowing facts about the male body that you probably never knew. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the male physique, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe to the channel for more mind-expanding content. Share this video with your friends and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay curious, my friends.